You write some CSS, refresh the page, and nothing changes. You double check the code, hit refresh again, still nothing. At this point, you're questioning your entire existence as a developer. Don't worry, in this video, I'll break down the most common reasons why your CSS isn't working and how you can fix them step by step. Hey, I'm Bin Mustafa from Code Dev Academy, where I help you master front-end web development without headaches. Today, we're going to tackle common CSS issues that break down your CSS styling or even stop the CSS from loading entirely. So we're going to dive into selectors, caching, file paths, and layout problems. For the first point I'm going to give you, it might seem obvious and it will be like something you're not going to miss, but for a single mistake in it, your CSS file is not going to load an inch. So when you encounter a problem like this, the first thing I need you to confirm is your HTML file even connected to your CSS file? This is the first step. So for you to actually confirm that your CSS file is loading normally, you need to go to your DevTools. You right-click and inspect. The first thing you do, you click on the Network tab. And make sure you click on CSS, then reload the page again. So when you reload it, as you can see here, our style.css is actually connected to our HTML file and it's loading perfectly okay. When you're having issues with file paths or something similar, you're going to be showing an error. So that means there's a problem. Go back to your file path. Another thing that makes your CSS not to load is specificity issue. I want you to take note of this. When there is specificity issue in CSS, CSS uses a ranking system that decides which of them goes first. Let me break it down. Inline styling are the most specific, followed by IDs. IDs are more specific than classes. Then followed by classes, attribute, and pseudo classes, which are less specific than IDs. Let's go more in details to it. Here you have a H1 that has a text of Hello World. And this same H1 has an ID of main title. Let's give this H1 to still have a class name of heading. Let's add some styling to this H1. Let's target the H1 and give it a text color of aqua. Target the class name, which is heading, and give it a different text color. Now target the ID, which is main title, and give it a different text color. And let's see which among them is going to apply. Now, as you can see here, the text color is brown, which shows that IDs are more specific than classes and tags. Now, let's check it in the DevTools. Right-click, let's inspect. Click on the H1 and let's see its CSS styling. From this side, as you can see here, we have the H1, which is cancelled, the heading, which is the class name, which has also been cancelled, and the only one working now is the ID, the main title, which is having a color text of brown, which shows that IDs are more specific, but take note that the most specific among them is inline styling. Another reason that makes your CSS not loading is typo or syntax error. Everything here might seem okay, but you might have a single problem that makes your CSS not to load. A column is missing here. So try to take note of these small issues because this might be the reason your CSS isn't loading or it's breaking down the whole styling of your website, which you're going to end up in long debugging. If debugging CSS feels painful, try the CSS scan extension that lets you inspect and copy any website style in seconds. It's a lifesaver when you're stuck. And actually, one of the major reasons that stop your CSS from loading is caching problem. You might be working on a project and your CSS isn't loading. That's because the website is loading a different CSS file that you have worked on in the past. So the solution to this caching problem is, on your browser, when you press F5, it refreshes, but that is not hard refresh. For a hard refresh, Ctrl F5, which gives you a hard refresh. If you notice, there was a blink that just happened. That's because it was a hard refresh. The keyword shortcut is different on Mac, so check it in the description box. All the keyword shortcut is there. If you're still facing the same issue, then the browser's cache should be reset. So to do that, you're going to press Ctrl H on your Windows. And for the rest of the keyword, check the description box, it's there. You're going to have a window appear here because I'm using Firefox. You can select the time frame that you want. It might be the last 1 hour, the last 12 hours, and it might be everything. So just select what you want and uncheck the rest and just leave temporary cache. Then you press clear. That should solve your problem. For the pro tips, use comments to isolate all those code that you don't want to use at that moment. You can use comments to isolate them. And later on, when you need them, you can bring them back. When you don't need them, you can just make the adjustments by taking them off. And make sure from the beginning of your CSS file, make sure you reset all your margins and paddings with a margin 0, a padding 0, with a box sizing of border box. Fixing CSS is like solving puzzle. Once you know the common pitfall, everything clicks into one place. If this video helped you, then like and subscribe to this video. And if you want to level up your web dev setup, I've linked the exact keyboard and browser extension I use every day. Check the description box. And if you've enjoyed this video, check out this video. You're going to like it.